Discapacidad Televisión.
¡Hola, mundo!
Primer canal de televisión dedicado al colectivo de personas con discapacidad desde 2006.
Hola, bienvenidos a Discapacidad Televisión. Recuerda suscribirte para no perderte los últimos estrenos y programas en vivo. Danos un me gusta, y así nos ayudarás a conocerte mejor. Por favor, no te olvides de compartir. Así, más personas podrán disfrutar de Discapacidad Televisión y toda su programación. Muchas gracias.
Porque seguimos comprometidos con la inclusión.
Reconocemos la importancia de la lengua de señas y el aporte de la comunidad sorda en nuestra cultura.
Porque las lenguas de señas nos unen.
¿Has escuchado que a las personas con discapacidad les dicen de todo? Minusválidos, enfermitos, discapacitados, inválidos, sordomudo, cieguito, retrasado, mudito, chuncho, retardado, pobrecito. No podemos continuar así. La manera correcta es persona con discapacidad o personas con discapacidad auditiva, física, visual, intelectual. Recuérdalo, todos tenemos nombre y apellido. Pregunta y úsalos. Todos somos personas con o sin discapacidad. No discriminemos, no ofendamos más. Utilicemos las palabras adecuadas por el respeto e igualdad hacia las personas con discapacidad. Coproder protege los derechos de las personas con discapacidad. Síguenos en nuestras redes sociales y visita nuestra página web. Consejo Cantonal de Protección de Derechos de Rumiñahui, siempre junto a la gente.
Estacionamientos para personas con discapacidad. Porque nos mueve incluir. Te invitamos a conocer el uso correcto de los estacionamientos exclusivos para personas con discapacidad. ¡Vamos! Es importante que sepas que para utilizar los estacionamientos exclusivos, el vehículo debe ser conducido o trasladar a una persona con discapacidad. No olvides dejar a la vista tu credencial de discapacidad en original. Al interior del vehículo, en el costado inferior izquierdo del parabrisas delantero. Recuerda, la Cruz de Malta no es un documento válido para hacer uso de estos estacionamientos y según la ley de tránsito, su uso indebido es una infracción grave. Carabineros e inspectores municipales son los encargados de fiscalizar y cursar las infracciones correspondientes. Respetar los estacionamientos exclusivos para las personas con discapacidad es respetar sus derechos.
A veces solo somos el reflejo de aquello que queremos ser. Somos sombra y oscuridad. Y no solo en esta profesión, se da una lucha continua por ser aceptado, por hacer amigos, cuando tu enemigo es el reflejo que te da el espejo. La discapacidad más grande de todas es la de tu propio miedo. El reto ya no es superar al resto, sino uno mismo. Creer en ti y amarte tal cual eres. Tu alma es la que necesita mejorar su apariencia.
Porque seguimos comprometidos con la inclusión.
Reconocemos la importancia de la lengua de señas y el aporte de la comunidad sorda en nuestra cultura.
Porque las lenguas de señas nos unen.
Discapacidad Televisión.
¡Hola, mundo!
Primer canal de televisión dedicado al colectivo de personas con discapacidad desde 2006. A continuación, Footless Joe, más allá de una amputación, presenta Joe Beckwith. Características de este programa: audio en inglés, subtítulos en castellano.
This is all right. No, come back. Oh God. That is gonna leave a bruise on my ankle. It's a good thing there are spikes here so I can impale myself. Onward to victory. Hello there, my beautiful, lovely internet friends. Welcome back to my channel for a very special and, might I say, dangerous edition of Amputee Tries for the very first time. Now you see, placed in front of me, I have a hoverboard that's been sitting in my garage for about 6 months now as I work up the courage to try it. If you know anything about me and my channel, you know that coordination is not at my top list of skills. So we're gonna try this for the very first time. I feel like this is generally something you see like 8-year-olds trying for the first time, but as a 30-year-old woman, I'm gonna give it a shot. Charging cord. I've been told that balance on both sides of your body is really important for these things not to just spin in circles, which I do not have. So we're gonna have to break out the helmet. This is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. Instructions. Do they just turn you loose on the hoverboard? A guide for your ride. You know what? I bet there's probably a YouTube video on this. It's like an 8 or a 9-year-old in this photo. I don't think hoverboards are meant for me. Looks simple enough. Okay. Oh, it's working. I just got a little concerned to be standing on this. Also, I would like everybody to welcome, you can't see her, but she's lovely, our new camera lady. Hi. Lori, which is awesome. I'm gonna make some coffee for energy and courage. Realistically, hoverboarding doesn't have any real benefit to my life. I just think it looks cool. Maybe I'll be one of those cool YouTube people who just hoverboards everywhere. I'll be like with my camera going around town, you know?
Like one of those TikToks. Well, here I go again.
Also, this is my Nespresso machine that I don't think I've introduced you all to. I absolutely love her. Brian got this for me as a present. I am curious, there's kind of a cult of Nespresso lovers and also people who swear on their lives it's not real coffee. It's the best coffee. I am right on this one, but feel free to leave your comments down below. So let's look up some how not to die hoverboarding videos. How not to die on a hoverboard. There's no video answering that question. All right, I might be the first. How do you get to slow down though? So I imagine lean forward is like go forward, lean back is, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So when I first got the hoverboard months ago, I thought this was gonna be an absolute disaster, which granted, it still might be, but since then, I have tried snowboarding, which is kind of similar to skateboarding, which I was terrible at as a child, but my balance was okay, so I'm thinking maybe I've learned enough about my body and how to balance that I can stay upright on one of these. Oh, this is Jake Paul. Oh God, no. No. I can't do it. The spin trick, I think I'll be doing that one without trying. I feel fully prepared. Thank you, YouTube, for giving me all the tips and tricks on how not to die hoverboarding. Improv an idea here that will hopefully keep me safe. It's probably like 15 or 20 pounds. It's a lot more than I would expect it to be. I think this is a good idea with the rug, Lori. I like it. Tighten the old shoelaces so I can kind of feel like how the motor works. That like, oh God, it goes fast. You see the pretty lights on the side? 10 out of 10. Step on, you don't want to step on forwards. Oh dear God, that is a lot. Pretty powerful, cool, okay. All right, reset, center focus.
So you have to like put your foot on it like perfectly centered.
I obviously don't have an ankle that I can control, so it's kind of harder to get that side going. This is thrilling cinema. Okay, so the one weird thing. I ran into this when I was snowboarding too, that because I don't have control over my foot or my ankle, but my body still tries to like clench and move those muscles. So I end up with like my residual limb getting super cramped up. I've got to learn how to like relax that so I can do this for more than 3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna take this on the mean streets of Colorado Springs. I just feel like this is a good idea. This is my equestrian helmet. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dumb does this look, Lori?
I think you look cute.
I like the fact that my neighbors are gonna see me like this. So I brought the chair out for emotional support. Okay. No, come back. No. Oh god, that bumps. It's alright. Good start. Hit the back of my ankle. We should go somewhere that doesn't have bumps. I gotta like do cool TikTok dances on these, right? Oh god, there's a crowd. Alright, faster. Alright, we are here at a public park where now everybody can see my excellent hoverboarding skills. Avoid the hole. It's a good thing there are spikes here so I can impale myself.
When you need to do something really, really fast, you need a montage.
Gypsy and Bella.
Oh, hello. May I say hi to her as well?
Yeah, she'll say hi to you.
She seems standoffish, but she really doesn't mind.
You're such a sweetie. They still have like all their baby fluff. Oh, cute. Oh god. Righteous. So doing this, when I tense it, like to try to balance myself, it's almost activating a lot of the phantom pain and phantom sensation that I have. And so it feels like my toes are like that and cramping. I need to actually stretch it out like this was a real ankle, but I'm hoping I can trick my brain into let it go. So now that I have absolutely mastered the art of hoverboarding, honest question for my audience, what is this good for? It appears to take more work than walking. Like I'm sore and a little bit out of breath from balancing on this thing. Is it to look cool? Because if it's to look cool, I can rock. Is it to save time or energy? Because I don't think it is either of those things. Is it to spin in circles? Ooh, God. Got a little too confident. What should we try next? Should we try some skateboarding? Let me see if I can do a cool turn again. Rollerblading, perhaps? Let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see me try for the first time as an amputee. Okay, hoverboarding update a few hours later. My calf is so cramped up. Like it still feels like my toes are curled in on themselves. Weird pins and needle sensations, those tiny little muscles like trying to balance and trying to move the hoverboard. Man, it doesn't feel great. Maybe I am too old for this. Or maybe I just need more practice. So in my escapades on the internet, in my content creation over on TikTok, I follow a lot of really cool people. One of whom is this gal. Her name is Tia B. Stokes. You may well recognize her face from her TikToks and YouTube videos and Instagram talking about dancing her way through cancer. On April 24th, 2020, Tia was diagnosed with cancer, had to go into the hospital during the height of COVID when no one could be with her, had to leave her family, lost her mom during that period, and spent over a year fighting for her life. Pretty recently, she went into remission and was able to ring that bell. And in the last couple months, as she has been celebrating being alive and going through this fight and continuing some treatments, her comment section has begun to shift just a little bit. And that, my dear friends, is what we are talking about today. Is there chocolate in my teeth? Hopefully not. So it's not going to be a shock to anyone listening to learn that our society places a lot of value on your body, on how you physically look, on the shape and the texture and the makeup of your skin and what lies beneath it. I don't think many people disagree that we focus on this to a very unhealthy extent. The rise of eating disorders, disordered ways of viewing our bodies, diet culture, it's all very troubling, but it is a fact in our society. That if you fit the definition of conventionally attractive, that you are going to be seen and treated differently. So, a couple months ago, I started to see Tia's comment section shift a little bit, and then she started making videos about it. People were commenting that she looked like she gained weight. They were commenting she's fat now. I don't know who thinks that's okay to comment, but let's move past that. And with utter grace and respect to others, absolute class, Tia responded to these comments with a few different videos and Instagram posts talking about, this physical change, talking about being on a very high dose of prednisone that was helping her stay alive, and that one of the side effects for that is often weight gain.
Yes, prednisone is not a fun medicine, but it is keeping me alive.
But these comments have continued on, and looking at it from an outside party, it seems like a very accurate meter, barometer, if you will, on our society of what we value and what we don't value. So let's recap this for just a second. Here's a woman who has spent a year, probably the hardest year of her life, fighting through something terrifying, something that takes millions of people's lives, having to be isolated away from her family, poked and prodded, go through significant loss, and amazingly, she has made it through that. Her body has gotten her through that. But as soon as it does that, and as soon as it starts to change and look a little bit different than how it did before, suddenly the tone of the support starts to shift a little bit. Because we deem weight gain as a society as this awful bad, very bad, no good, I've said that way too many times, but you get what I'm meaning, as a bad thing. People see fit to comment on this body that has allowed her to live, that has allowed her to survive, suggesting that it is wrong and it is a bad thing. And the whole, in my opinion, bullshit argument of I'm commenting on your weight because I care about your health, that doesn't even, you don't even have a foot to stand on. Get it? A foot to stand on. In this argument, because this is all very monitored by her doctors, right? Let me just repeat the fact that when people say that in comment sections, I think it's an absolute cop-out, but if someone was gonna make that argument, you can't, because doctors are very involved in her body and how it is working right now. Which brings us to the very real fact that there is a faction of people out there that see her body as now wrong. Now that it has survived hell and back, but it doesn't look the way that some people think it should look anymore. And she's talked about her own struggle with this, her own struggle with body image, because I honestly don't know anyone who is immune to struggling with the way that they physically view themselves and having shame and difficulty in that. I am one of those people. I dealt with an eating disorder from age 15 to about 20. I was able to get past a lot of the unhealthy behaviors associated with that, but a lot of the unhealthy thoughts still weasel their way into my mind, sometimes on a daily basis. This past year has been weirdly difficult for how I see my body. I really struggle not to hate it. I really struggle not to critique it. I really struggle not to try to punish myself with exercise if I feel like I've eaten too much, which I'm legitimately embarrassed to say out loud. I worry about how I'm perceived and seen because in my mind, my physical form is still linked to my worth as a human being, to my worth and my value in society. Now, do I actually believe those two things are tied? Do I actually think if I gained 50 or 100 pounds, I would be worth any less as a person? No, absolutely not. But society's subconscious programming sure tells us that, doesn't it? Beauty standards of what is considered ideal have shifted over time. Right now, we're in a phase where being athletic and or skinny, you get the stamp of approval from society as a whole. Okay. And if your body, which allows you to survive, which in Tia's case has gotten her through hell, has helped her fight through something that very easily could have taken her life, that does take the lives of so many people, when that body responds to treatments that she is being given and starts to change a little bit what it looks like, suddenly some of the support and compassion and kind words start to melt away. And honestly, I don't know how useful it would be to make a video saying this is absolutely stupid and makes me sick and very angry, but I am gonna say those things. Being in the social media landscape as I am, far too often I see comment sections of men, women, non-binary people, however you identify, just being flooded and filled with shameful, awful comments about how they look or don't look. And as someone who has felt the effect of society's pressure to be a certain way every day of my adult life, I'm really deeply over it. So many times in my life that I have not done something, or I have made myself as a person in some way smaller, or not attended an event, or not wore something I wanted to, or not gone after a dream that I had because of something that I thought about my body. I've thought about the literal countless hours that I have wasted being concerned about numbers that are sewn onto pieces of clothing, garments, sizes, being legitimately stressed about that, devoting so much of my mental energy to it, and I'm so mad going back to a video from a week or two ago where I was talking about being angry about everything. I'm so mad that we live in a society that has allowed people to grow up this way and think this way, that has bred a culture that thinks it is okay to comment mean things on the videos of someone who has just survived cancer, whose body has gotten them through it. It is heartbreaking to me that our young people and our older people are subject and have to waste their lives thinking about these standards, because as someone who is very aware of my body from a surgery and chronic pain and chronic illness perspective, there are so many more important things to worry about and think about than what your body looks like. And I say that as someone who worries and thinks about it way too much. This is a fight I am actively engaged in. But seeing what was happening with Tia online and the comments that she was getting and the, like I said, very classy, very lovely response videos she was making to these people, saying comments that frankly had no place to ever be said, just really drove home the point for me that we are very lost when it comes to this subject. Like, I realize it's been this way for a while, but how have we gotten to the point where commenting at all on the shape, the size, the makeup of someone's body, especially someone who has just gone through something so catastrophic and life-altering with their body, where we think that's okay, where we think that's like an okay thing to do. This seeps into everything. Like, I have had so many conversations with friends who have gone through major life events, gained a few pounds, and are now absolutely crushed. They do not fit into the same size of jeans that they did a year or two before. That comment is in no way shaming them for thinking that, because I know how we get there, right? I know the society that we live in. But the fact that we are programmed to think that way, that we are programmed to focus not on our mental health after we've gone through something so drastic, but on the fact that you're no longer a size 6, you're now a size 8, and oh my God, what are people gonna think? The fact that anyone would think anything about that ever is astonishing to me. And speaking on a personal level, as I was going through major surgeries, losing my leg and then going through it again because I had a fall and it messed things up the first time, those were very present thoughts in my head as I was like laying in the hospital recovering, of being like, well, I still shouldn't eat too much even when I'm in the hospital recovering from surgery because of the visual impact it could have on my body. Like, I didn't give in to those thoughts, but still they were there, and that just pisses me off. But I just wanted to bring up this story in particular because it's really heartbreaking to see, and I hope that by identifying these things, by looking at them, and by saying as a culture, wow, this is really messed up, that maybe things can begin to change. We are all infinitely so much more valuable and sacred and incredible than the skin we inhabit, but even that is beautiful and worthy. So Tia, if you happen to be watching this, I think you're delightful. I think you're an absolute warrior. You're a rock star. Keep doing what you're doing. You're an amazing girl. And to you watching this video, if you are someone like me who also struggles with thoughts of your physical appearance, of your physical body, of the skin that you're in, know that you're not alone, and that I am also working towards a mindset and a world in which we do not have such a focus on this, because gosh darn it, it is not what really matters, and we just place so much focus on it, and that makes me sad. So I'm gonna continue to work towards changing it, and I hope that you will join me. We're going to be answering the question once and for all. YouTube moderators, this is a butter knife, it's harmless, I promise. If I were to stab my prosthetic foot with a knife when I was experiencing phantom pain, would it help? And if you have no idea why I'm asking this question, I get asked this pretty much constantly in the comment sections of a lot of videos, because in a very popular show by the name of Grey's Anatomy, there's a main character, Arizona Robbins, who becomes an amputee, and there is a scene in which this happened. And the idea here is that that solved her phantom pain. Now, you and I both know that TV shows are not always strictly accurate to real life, so would this actually work? Does this work? Have I tried this? We're gonna be answering that question and more in this video. But first, before we get to the foot stabbing, which is an excellent sentence to be able to say in a video for work, allow me to introduce you to my new friends at HapDay. HapDay is an app that seeks to improve happiness by a number of steps, one of the most important, which is posting a picture a day for yourself to look back upon. on. I've been doing this for about a week now, and it is a lovely reminder of the little things throughout my days that have brought me joy. But not only does Hap Day focus on using photos to increase your happiness, as you're saving this photo for yourself, it also allows you to rate the quality of your day, which I think is a good moment to kind of reflect on how you've been feeling. It'll then show you statistics of how you've been feeling over time. It also gives you daily tasks. For instance, let's look at what today's is. Think of someone you are grateful for and write this person something nice. So as you're taking time every day to invest in your happiness and complete these little tasks, it also brings you along this course of unlocking new levels and new tasks. Doing something like this, posting a photo a day with a few notes about why it makes you happy and how you're feeling that day, I've personally found to be really helpful because I think it's easy to forget. To sound really cliche, the little moments. Even opening up the app today for this video, I was reminded of a picture I had taken just about a week ago, and it brought a smile to my face. Hap Day is totally free to download through your app store. However, if you use the code on screen, I've also placed a link in the description down below, you unlock things like unlimited posts, carousel type posts like we see on Instagram, also extended statistics, and tracking of your personal growth. This is something that genuinely takes about 3 minutes a day to do, and I think is a good reminder to invest in ourselves. So check Hap Day out by clicking the link in my description to download it now. Let me know what you think. And now let's get back to the moment we've all been waiting for, foot stabbing. Okay.
Endowments don't tend to grow with the popularity of these programs where very soon you have every sick kid in Africa banging down your door.
What happened? You need me to step in?
I like the super tense dramatic music. It's like what Grey's Anatomy does best.
Calm the waves.
These are tsunami force waves, Owen. What is wrong with this woman? I mean, is she having a panic attack? Should she even be in the OR?
No one is moving.
I'm stripping the endocardium from the papillary muscle. If I screw this up, I have to replace the mitral valve, so don't move.
I'm not gonna move. You tell me not to move, I'm not gonna move.
What's wrong? Are you sick?
Alex, take that scalpel.
What? What are you doing?
And stab me in the foot. What? Just my prosthetics.
I'm just really enjoying this. Okay, let's do it.
Stab me.
What is wrong with you?
Dr. Kraft, I'm the chief of surgery. This is an order. Stab Dr. Robbins in the foot right
yes.
now.
What?
Alex. Of course.
All right, that was a trip. Let's analyze that scene a little bit. The first thought that I had when watching this is that I think, personally speaking, just for me and how my body is, I think it would be difficult to be a surgeon and deal with phantom pain, because how I get it is like these electrical zaps of pain out of nowhere, or like crazy bad cramping. I'll be 100% fine, and then like my husband, my friends can attest to this, I'll kind of jump out of nowhere and like be grabbing my leg because it's extreme pain with no warning. So I think that would be really difficult. You really have to train your body not to react to that, which is hard to do when it feels like someone is literally stabbing you in the foot. So I think Arizona, stepping away when she was experiencing that pain was really smart. My first thought looking at that was like, I've never almost fainted from phantom pain, but then again, it can get that bad for some people. And also like stepping away from the table so she wasn't like jerking or jumping any movements while holding scalpels in someone's body was a good choice. So let's talk about the mechanics of phantom pain for just a moment here. First and foremost, it's not all in your head. It's not made up pain. Phantom pain is very real pain that you feel in a part of your body that simply isn't there anymore. When they chop your leg off, your nervous system doesn't necessarily get the signals. Like the map that your brain has of your body doesn't get updated that body part isn't there anymore necessarily. So it still tries to send signals to it. And in doing so, you end up with some really wonky feedback that sometimes means you experience itching or pain or stabbing or burning. There are a variety of ways you can deal with that. Some medications help some people. Mirror therapy is something that's very effective. We'll go into that more in just a moment. And also having a prosthetic and like touching the part of your foot that is, feeling an itch or is in pain can be helpful. So let's talk about the foot stabbing. That was actually really funny to watch. I've not seen that scene before for some reason. I must have missed it. Allow us to use a harmless butter knife as demonstration. You know what's funny? Even as I'm like pretending to threaten my foot here, I feel my foot tensing up. Like I kind of feel more tingling. It's almost like those nerves are like resisting for impact, right? But like if I do that, I feel it for half a second. I feel the knife hit my foot for just a moment before my brain realizes it's not actually there. One of the most bizarre things that I kind of discovered on accident once was a friend was like joking about giving me a foot massage and like grab my prosthetic foot. And by anticipating what I was gonna feel by watching her do that, I felt her hands around my foot. So when you are experiencing some kind of phantom sensation episode, doing things like hitting your foot or itching it or whatever can actually really help. So when Arizona asks Karev to stab her foot with a scalpel, first off, I'm really glad that he chose the right one and went with the prosthetic one instead of her meat foot. That would have been very unfortunate for her. And you notice in the footage, get it? I'm sorry. I think they did a decent job of depicting this because she's watching as he does it, right? She's looking at it. And for me anyways, a big part of easing phantom sensation is actually seeing something happen to this part of my body. They don't go into detail about what specifically, like what type of pain she was experiencing, but even having something like that would kind of like interrupt all of the signals in your body by being stabbed in the foot could, I imagine, sort of shock it into being okay again. When I talk about this stuff, sometimes I feel like I am in a sci-fi movie or novel because it's so mind-blowing to me that our brains do this. So let's talk about mirror therapy for just a moment. This is another thing that people often ask me about in relation to Grey's Anatomy. Does it work and what is it? So I'll link a video down below that I did on mirror therapy, but it's essentially tricking your brain into thinking that your other leg is still there and moving it, and it can be very therapeutic for your brain. So I'm gonna begin by rocking my leg back and forth, and notice that the whole time I'm looking in the mirror at the other side, at the reflection of my good leg, and I'm picturing the whole time that I have both legs. Thinking logically, this always kind of seemed counterproductive to me because, like, wouldn't you want your brain to acknowledge and come to peace with the fact that your leg is gone? But science shows otherwise, that doing things like mirror therapy can be really effective for relieving signs and symptoms of phantom sensation. For me personally, it was incredibly helpful, especially as I was first adjusting to my amputation and having really bad phantom pain. Mirror therapy doesn't work super well for me in the moment. If I'm experiencing phantom pain, pulling out a mirror and trying that trick doesn't do too much for me, unfortunately, but for a lot of people it can be very, very effective. So one of the things that a lot of people commented in the other Grey's Anatomy reaction video that I did is that they kind of just forgot about her prosthetic as the show went on, which for a major show that has a lot of funding behind it, I think is rather unfortunate because I can't forget about my prosthetic leg. If I do, I can't walk. However, when I looked a little deeper into the issue, I did see some fan theories that they didn't forget don't drop your computer. They didn't forget about it at all, rather something like this was used. So a prosthetic cover like this is actually entirely plausible. They actually make them look really realistic, and I'm guessing that the show did put this cover on her prosthetic leg to allow the actress to keep playing Arizona Robbins without having to pay a lot of money for CGI. So we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that in scenes later on in the seasons where it appears like she has two good legs again, not that you aren't good, you're just different. Maybe it was just a fantastically done prosthetic cover. Personally, I've never looked into getting a prosthetic cover. It's just never really interested me that much, but I know a lot of people that it does help their self-confidence, self-esteem. It's more of what they want to present to the world and how they want to look, and so that's an option that a lot of people have. Long story short, phantom pain is a really fascinating thing, and sometimes trying bizarre and silly things might be really effective. I will say that maybe don't stab your own prosthetic foot with a real knife because these things aren't cheap to repair. Like, to get a new foot shell, which is this rubber part, which is what you would definitely pierce by stabbing it, is at least a few $100s. Thank you for coming on this phantom pain foot stabbing journey with me today. Sometimes I like doing these reaction videos. They're just kind of fun and lighthearted, and I feel like I can answer some questions in the process. However, if you have additional questions about prosthetics, phantom pain, anything along those lines, leave them in the comment section down below. I may do a video answering your question in the near future. A big thank you to my new friends at HapDay for partnering with me for this video. HapDay can be a fantastic way to take a few minutes out of your day to invest in your happiness. Like I said, use the download link down below, linked in the description, not only to support this channel, but I'm also interested to hear what you have to say. If you like this app, if you find that it also increases your daily happiness, let me know. And to my beautiful patrons over on Patreon, thank you so much for choosing to invest in what I'm doing here. I could not do this without you, and I am truly so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. To you watching this video right now, you could be anywhere else in the world doing anything else, and you chose to hang out with me for a few minutes here, and I really appreciate that. I love you guys. I'm thinking about you, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Bye guys. By the way, I know that this room is really, really echoey, and I appreciate you sticking around with me for it. This was supposed to be a video set at one point, then I just turned it into a coffee nook, but I felt like giving it a shot today. So let me know what you think. Mwah. Bye.
Have heard from the sky all about it. Down the river, high tide flows around it. Through the whispers of pines, I hear them sing. The more you love, the more you live.
Discapacidad Televisión.
¡Hola mundo!
Primer canal de televisión dedicado al colectivo de personas con discapacidad desde 2006.
Hola, bienvenidos a Discapacidad Televisión. Recuerda suscribirte para no perderte los últimos estrenos y programas en vivo. Danos un me gusta, y así nos ayudarás a conocerte mejor. Por favor, no te olvides de compartir, así, más personas podrán disfrutar de Discapacidad Televisión y toda su programación. Muchas gracias.
En América Latina y el Caribe hay 70 millones de personas con discapacidad. La falta de infraestructura accesible es una de las barreras que enfrentan. Desde el BID promovemos la inclusión laboral de personas con discapacidad, el fortalecimiento institucional en temas relacionados y el desarrollo de estándares de accesibilidad universal en la infraestructura. Un ejemplo es el Programa de Sustentabilidad y Eficiencia del Sector Eléctrico en República Dominicana, donde se desarrolló una política de inclusión laboral. También se construirán baños accesibles gracias al Programa de Gestión Integral de Residuos Sólidos Urbanos en Argentina. Y en Brasil se han capacitado a conductores de autobuses para atender a sus usuarios, garantizando la accesibilidad a las estaciones y el espacio público. Además, hemos desarrollado una guía de servicio inclusivo para personas con discapacidad y otras publicaciones en transporte, agua y energía. Estamos haciendo camino hacia una región más inclusiva.
¿Ficción o realidad?
Los cachitos que te metís, oye. Así que te tocó ser instructor del nuevo. Suerte con eso.
Esto es simple. Presionas el botón on-off switch que está acá al lado. Abres el door. Tomas el paper, el script siempre boca abajo. Cierras el door.
Tal vez parece ficción, pero es la realidad de muchas personas con discapacidad.
¿Viste? Simple.
Cada momento es una oportunidad para la inclusión.
Entonces, abro la puerta, pongo hojas, le cierro la puerta, aprieto el botón y tengo una copia perfecta.
¡Súper! La vida está compuesta por acciones grandes o pequeñas que nos permiten avanzar hacia el cambio cultural.
Con actos de inclusión, reafirmamos los derechos de las personas con discapacidad.
Más información, cenadis.gov.cl. Cenadis, Ministerio de Desarrollo Social y Familia, Gobierno de Chile. Presentes por un mejor futuro.
El Instituto Nacional para Ciegos INSI tiene la tarea de garantizar los derechos de los colombianos ciegos y con baja visión de Colombia, en términos de inclusión social, educativa, económica, política y cultural. El INSI, la entidad adscrita al Ministerio de la Igualdad que asesora a entidades nacionales, territoriales y locales que tienen a cargo la atención de los casi 2 millones de personas con discapacidad visual del país. A través de sus servicios brinda asesoría en educación inclusiva, accesibilidad digital y física e inclusión laboral. Cuenta con la imprenta nacional para ciegos que produce y entrega material especializado en diferentes formatos. Y cuenta con una tienda que pone a disposición más de 180 productos para posibilitar el desempeño de las actividades cotidianas de una manera autónoma e independiente. Y como escenario para el acceso al conocimiento desde cualquier lugar y en cualquier momento, tiene la biblioteca virtual para ciegos que pone a disposición libros en formatos accesibles, con diversas obras y géneros. Y para garantizar la participación, el acceso a la cultura y el entretenimiento, escuche INSI Radio, la emisora virtual que le da voz a las personas con discapacidad visual. Instituto Nacional para Ciegos INSI, trabajando por una Colombia más incluyente. www.insi.gov.co.
Definitivamente para mí desde que se abrió el metro, fue una ayuda maravillosa. Ya no tengo como que levantarme con 2 horas de anticipación para poder irme a la universidad, ¿no? Sino que todo ese tiempo lo utilizo para estudiar, lo utilizo para hacer mis deberes.
En mi caso, yo puedo contar que mi estrés ha disminuido totalmente. Llego tranquilo y frescamente al trabajo y también no estoy con la preocupación de que tengo que salir rápido porque el tráfico es terrible.
Lamentablemente por mi discapacidad tenía que movilizarme en los buses urbanos que les llaman. Los choferes, hay muchos de ellos que no son amables, entonces se me hacía muy difícil. Para nosotros el metro sí ha sido una gran ayuda. Cuenta con el ascensor, cuenta con las rampas donde puede entrar la silla de ruedas. Entonces ahí se le hace un poquito más fácil a mi hijo empujar la silla, subirme, todo eso.
Por ejemplo, cuando vienen personas con discapacidad, el personal del Metro de Quito ingresa a los vagones, les ubica dentro de los asientos o en las zonas preferenciales para las personas con silla de ruedas y pues una vez que les dejan ubicados, ahí recién salen y pues continúa el trayecto del tren.
Esos días de trasladarme al centro de Quito, que para mí había sido históricamente o ir en carro o ir en bus, era realmente complejo. Entonces ir en 10, 15 minutos, estar en el centro de Quito era algo mágico. En realidad llegar y descubrir en ese momento de una cosa tan rápida, eso me resultó realmente placentero.
Yo vivo en el sur de Quito y pues la mayoría de las instituciones en las que incluso podemos hacer prácticas se encuentran en el centro o en el norte. Entonces yo creo que en caso de que pues llegue a trabajar en una de estas instituciones, definitivamente el sistema de transporte nos ayudaría muchísimo, claro, para incluso no tener que cambiarnos de residencia para poder acceder a estas plazas de trabajo.
Sí, les diría que prueben, que se atrevan, que sí es factible, sí es importante para nosotros estas facilidades que nos da el metro.
El Metro de Quito yo creo que es el proyecto más importante de las últimas décadas en la ciudad. El Metro de Quito nos ha puesto en movimiento y es la gran oportunidad para construir una ciudadanía corresponsable.
Me encanta cómo se está construyendo toda esta cultura de respeto, de cordialidad, como que se están retornando a los valores de la gente quiteña cálida, amable, como siempre ha sido.
Si decidieras quitarme todo e incluso no amarme más, si decidieras no perdonarme ni cuidarme, si decidieras no proveer hasta dejar de protegerme, sería yo capaz de amarte igual. Si no vinieras a dar tu vida y darle un rumbo a la mía, si te aferraras a tu grandeza siendo Dios, si no me dieras lo que te pido hasta dejarme en el olvido, sería yo capaz de amarte igual. Desde ya quiero que el mundo sepa que no te busco por conveniencia. Si estoy aquí no es coincidencia, pues eres dueño de mi existencia y yo te amo. Sin entenderlo, pero yo te amo. No se trata de lo que me das ni de lo que haces. Y yo te porque eres mi Dios, te amo porque eres mi Padre, te amo porque eres mi Dios.
No podemos seguir así.
No podemos seguir siendo invisibles.
No podemos seguir siendo 85 millones y que no nos vean.
No podemos seguir siendo 34 millones
los que estamos al límite de la pobreza.
No podemos seguir siendo 10 millones los que no sabemos leer ni escribir.
No podemos seguir enfrentando barreras. No podemos seguir sin esperanza.
No podemos seguir esperando, porque ya esperamos toda la vida.
No podemos seguir.
No piensen que no podemos.
Podemos.
Podemos cambiar la historia.
Podemos construir una sociedad inclusiva.
Podemos ser parte de la reconstrucción de la región.
Juntos.
No hablen por nosotros, hablen con nosotros.
No sueñen por nosotros, sueñen con nosotros.
No avancen por nosotros, avancen con nosotros.
Hashtag Rompiendo Barreras. Banco Mundial.
¿Qué es la educación inclusiva? Es aquella que genera oportunidades de participación y aprendizaje donde se apuesta por entornos adecuados para que todos los niños y niñas aprendan juntos, independientemente de sus condiciones personales, sociales o culturales. El artículo 16 de la Constitución Política del Perú, el artículo 24 de la Convención sobre los Derechos de la Persona con Discapacidad y el artículo 35 de la Ley número 29973, Ley General de la Persona con Discapacidad, establecen el derecho al acceso a la educación de los niños y niñas con discapacidad en sus 3 niveles, primaria, secundaria y superior inclusiva, con los ajustes razonables según lo requiera. El acceso a la educación es vital para la formación de las personas con discapacidad. Allí se logran forjar habilidades y conocimientos para un posterior desarrollo laboral y profesional, generando así una sociedad más inclusiva.
Gobierno del Perú. El Perú primero.
El momento preferido de Abraham es ir al parque, a jugar con los amigos, con la arena, a montar en los columpios. Yo como madre me siento pues muy feliz que otros niños quieran jugar con él. Abraham es un niño más en el parque, totalmente. O si no, por lo menos es lo que más intentamos, ¿verdad? Y luego los propios padres de los otros niños también ayudan mucho a que sea uno más.
Ven con él. Columpio.
Mira el nene, qué alto, mira. ¡Hala!
Bueno, ¿eh?
¿Sí?
Hola, ¿esta niña es tuya?
Sí.
Qué mona. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Paula.
Leire, aquí está.
Leire.
Ah, la que
Ay,
está
nos ha
Leire.
dejado la pelotita,
Está
Leire. Hemos
jugando.
jugado con ella.
Pues nada, muchas gracias, señora. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Encantada de jugar con él.
Gracias,
Nada.
Mira, Abraham. Claro, cada uno tiene lo suyo, pero que es muy agradecer, ¿sabes? Que jueguen también con otros niños.
De nada, hijo.
Gracias, de verdad, gracias.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Pues nada, gracias por nada,
Gracias, de verdad.
Gracias, de verdad.
Adiós.
Mira, Abraham, vamos, ¿quieres que vayamos un poquito allí al columpio? ¿Dónde quieres ir? A ver.
Soy José. Todas las mañanas me levanto, tomo desayuno y me voy al trabajo. Al llegar me pongo muy contento. He conocido entretenidos y buenos amigos. En mi empresa reconocen lo que hago. Estoy orgulloso de trabajar aquí. Siento que la vida me ha dado mucho. José es mi hijo, es sordomudo y sus logros son también nuestros logros.
Juli.
Sí.
¿Venís un segundo, por favor?
¿Cómo va todo? Todo bien.
¿Bien? Genial, me alegro. Bueno, hoy se va a estar sumando un chico nuevo al equipo.
Bien.
Así que quiero que lo ayudemos, viste que el primer día no es fácil para nadie.
No.
Vos vas a ser el encargado de explicarle cómo funcionan las cosas.
Bien.
Tengámosle paciencia, viste que la adaptación no es fácil.
No, claro, obvio.
Si hay que explicarle las cosas 2 veces.
Se las explicamos 2 veces.
Sí, si hay que explicárselas 3 veces.
3 veces.
3 veces, perfecto. Mira, justo ahí viene.
Hola.
Hola. Mati, él es Juli.
Hola.
Juli va a ser el encargado de presentarte a los chicos del equipo y mostrarte cómo funciona todo por acá. Así que bueno, si quieren ir yendo.
Vamos, te muestro todo.
Juli. Hagámoslo sentir uno más, ¿dale?
Sí. Freidora.
¿Y esta es la tostadora?
Bien, exacto. Bueno, en ese osito, poné la bebida.
¿La bebida?
Ah, sí, sí. Saben con vainilla. No importa, tranquilo.
La Universidad Católica Boliviana San Pablo abre sus espacios educativos promoviendo medidas de acción positiva que favorece la inclusión en la educación superior de personas con necesidades educativas específicas, a través del área de inclusión, discapacidad y equidad, la cual facilita el tránsito adecuado en el acceso, permanencia y salida exitosa de sus estudiantes. Promueve la actualización en la formación docente sobre la temática. Desarrolla e implementa mecanismos y estrategias de apoyo equitativo en el aula. Aplica el modelo social de la discapacidad para transformar culturas y prácticas inclusivas. Todos los días en la Universidad Católica Boliviana trabajamos con entusiasmo, creando sinergias en la comunidad universitaria por la igualdad de oportunidades con responsabilidad y respeto, sobre todo personas.
¿Conoces los programas que conforman a la CNDH? 6. Atención a personas con discapacidad. Este importante programa, perteneciente a la primera Visitaduría General, trabaja de manera conjunta con organizaciones de la sociedad civil y dependencias de los 3 órdenes de gobierno, a través de la promoción, difusión, orientación y acompañamiento en casos de presunta vulneración a los derechos humanos de las personas con discapacidad. Además, realiza investigaciones, informes y diagnósticos acerca del estado que guardan los derechos humanos de este sector de la población, a fin de dar a conocer las áreas de oportunidad, coadyuvando con la asertiva toma de decisiones en pro de la inclusión. Si consideras que tus derechos han sido vulnerados, acércate a nosotros. En la Comisión Nacional de los Derechos Humanos, defendemos al pueblo.
En un pasillo hay una mujer usuaria de silla de ruedas.
¿Ficción o realidad?
La mujer se acerca a un ascensor y unas personas pasan delante de ella. La mujer les mira con molestia y sube al ascensor. Suben 2 ejecutivas.
Qué terrible lo de este ascensor. Ay, terrible. Ya cuenta.
Se apoyan en la silla de ruedas.
¿Que lo supiste? No, pero si le gritó a todo el mundo la desubicada. Ah, pero es que no me sorprende si ella siempre ha sido desubicada.
Sube un repartidor.
¿Aló? ¿Aló, jefe? No, si la hago cortísima, ahora le meto turbo a la moto y llego al toque.
La mujer baja.
Tal vez parece ficción, pero es la realidad de muchas personas con discapacidad.
Ve al repartidor salir del edificio.
Cada momento es una oportunidad para la inclusión.
La mujer sube al ascensor sonriendo. Un grupo de personas espera tras ella.
La vida está compuesta por acciones grandes o pequeñas que nos permiten avanzar hacia el cambio cultural.
Unas puertas automáticas se abren delante de la mujer.
Con actos de inclusión, reafirmamos los derechos de las personas con discapacidad.
Ella sonríe a cámara.
Más información, cenadis.gov.cl. Cenadis, Ministerio de Desarrollo Social y Familia, Gobierno de Chile. Presentes por un mejor futuro.
Cuando una empresa publica una búsqueda laboral, está hablando de lo que necesita, pero también de lo que ofrece. ¿Cómo responden las personas a esa oferta? El BID realizó el primer estudio a gran escala en idioma español para comprender cómo el lenguaje afecta en la decisión de aplicar un empleo en sectores altamente masculinizados, como la construcción, la ingeniería y la programación. El resultado fue categórico. Los anuncios que utilizaban ambos géneros fueron preferidos no solo por parte de las mujeres, sino de los hombres. En el caso de las mujeres, esta práctica aumentó su respuesta en un 43% y un 10% entre los hombres. Cuando además se menciona explícitamente que se ofrece un entorno de trabajo igualitario y diverso, estos valores fueron aún más altos. ¿Qué quiere decir? Que estos avisos de búsqueda laboral demostraron tener muchas más posibilidades de recibir aplicaciones, lo que se traduce en más chances de encontrar la persona perfecta para el puesto. En una región donde la igualdad de género en el trabajo aún es un desafío, la redacción cuidadosa de los avisos de empleo es una herramienta sencilla y costo efectiva que pueden implementar las empresas que estén comprometidas con ser un espacio laboral más igualitario e inclusivo. Y esa es una buena noticia. Es hora de cambiar cómo buscamos nuestros equipos para cambiar cómo somos.
Logo Instituto Nacional para Ciegos.
Hola, soy Alejandro. Al igual que yo, muchas personas ciegas y con baja visión utilizamos lectores de pantalla y magnificadores de pantalla para navegar en diferentes documentos, páginas web, redes sociales y otros contenidos digitales.
Dirección, carrera 13, signo de número 3491.
Pero no todos los contenidos digitales son accesibles. A veces no podemos consultar información en línea, consultar información bancaria, agendar citas o adquirir otro tipo de servicios en la web. Las imágenes no cuentan con texto alternativo comprensible.
Imagen.
El texto es demasiado pequeño o tiene colores difíciles de distinguir. Por eso es importante que todos los contenidos digitales sean publicados con criterios de accesibilidad para que todas las personas puedan acceder de forma autónoma e independiente sin importar si tienen o no una discapacidad.
Computador portátil con la biblioteca virtual para ciegos abierta.
La accesibilidad nos permite a todos aprender, trabajar, comprar productos en línea,
conocer la información de servicios, nuestras facturas digitales y disfrutar del mundo digital. Instituto Nacional para Ciegos INCI. Aparece el logo del Instituto Nacional para Ciegos INCI y sus redes sociales www.inci.gov.co.
Mi nombre es Jesús Albeiro Urbano, soy del municipio de Santa Cruz, Guachavés, vivo en una vereda que se llama El Pedregal. Soy sobreviviente de una mina antipersonal, perdí mis 2 piernas. Desde ahí quedé en una silla de ruedas. Yo pensaba que ya era una persona que de pronto no servía para nada, pero gracias a la ayuda de mi familia, de mi novia, yo me superé y siempre he querido darles como a la gente un ejemplo de vida que uno en condición de discapacidad sí puede salir adelante. Yo tenía unos ahorros por ahí y me compré un carro y lo hice adaptar a la mano. Entonces yo tengo una van y ahí transporto 17 niños a una guardería. Cuando yo era niño, mi mayor sueño era estudiar y tener una profesión, pero por cosas de la vida, la pobreza, mi papá no tenía los recursos, terminé el 5º de primaria y me retiré. Y siempre quería entrar a estudiar a una universidad. Para mí la Escuela Superior de la ESAP, ¿cómo les puedo decir? Como un regalo de Dios o no sé, ¿no? Porque esta universidad llega a este municipio, es un municipio pequeño. Esto es una oportunidad como para las personas que de pronto no tenemos los recursos para salir a una ciudad. Entonces es bueno estudiar y que tengan el conocimiento y no se desanimen por nada y que el estudio es lo más bonito que tenemos en la vida.
ESAP, Escuela Superior de Administración Pública. El servicio público es de todos. Función pública. Discapacidad Televisión.
¡Hola, mundo!
Primer canal de televisión dedicado al colectivo de personas con discapacidad desde 2006.
Hola, bienvenidos a Discapacidad Televisión. Recuerda suscribirte para no perderte los últimos estrenos y programas en vivo. Danos un me gusta, y así nos ayudarás a conocerte mejor, y saber qué programación es tu favorita. Por favor, no te olvides de compartir, así, más personas podrán disfrutar de Discapacidad Televisión y toda su programación. Muchas gracias.